Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to talk about the I-601A waiver. I'm going to answer a question from one of you on McBean Immigration TV about this waiver. The question comes from KRLS Noah, and he says that he has a biometric appointment coming up for the I-601A waiver, and he wants to know how long it's going to take for them to make a decision on his I-601A waiver. And that's a great question. For those of you who are new to the whole I-601A or any of the waivers, this is the waiver that need to be filed for those who have overstayed their visa or they entered without inspection, and consequently they're not able to adjust their status in the United States. They have to go overseas, back home, to be interviewed at an embassy abroad or U.S. consulate abroad. And so in this case, with the I-601A waiver, provisional waiver for unlawful presence, what it does is that it prevents the person from being barred from returning to the United States based on the issue that they've overstayed or they have unlawful presence. So the way it works is this: if you had overstayed in the U.S. for over a certain period of time, you might be barred for either 3 years or 10 years from returning. And you file this waiver before you leave the United States because the waiver attaches to you at the time that you lift off in that airplane, and then the clock starts ticking as it relates to how soon you can return. Now, with this waiver, it allows you to leave and not be barred from coming back for the reason of the unlawful presence. It kind of gets rid of that unlawful presence, so to speak, so that you are now free to be interviewed at that U.S. embassy. But always keep in mind, friends, that when you go to a U.S. embassy abroad for an interview, you've got to remember that they have a lot of discretion, right, with respect to whether to give you or approve your visa requests. And so if they find any other reason to not approve your immigrant visa, then they will tell you, okay, we're not going to approve it. And in some cases, they tell you the reason why, and then they tell you you actually need another waiver, and that other waiver will address this problem that we're having. Or they may say, well, we need more documents from you, or whatever the case may be. We need to do further background check because this thing came up during the interview. All of those things are possible, which is why we always recommend before you leave the U.S. for an embassy interview to make sure that you are all clear. You're good to go, okay? Do an investigation to make sure that there's no other reason why the embassy would refuse you of the visa. Now, to get back to KRLS's question about how long this is going to take, how long is the waiver these days? Well, I looked it up on USCIS's website, and I'm going to share with you what our experience is as well at our office. But according to USCIS, it's now we're looking at a 26 months to 34 months. 26 months if your case is pending at the Nebraska Service Center. However, if it's pending in Potomac, Virginia, then you're facing a longer wait, 34 months. What we've been seeing in our office on average these days, some of our cases, we've been waiting like a year and a half, almost 2 years now for some of the cases that we have. So that's what we're experiencing in our office. But just fundamentally speaking, with respect to this, the fundamentals of this waiver, though, which I want you to grasp, not so much the whole timing issue. Yes, it takes a long time, and it's really awful to deal with that. But you make sure you get this approved before you leave the United States if you're eligible for the waiver. Now, how is a person eligible for this waiver? Well, firstly, guys, you file this waiver after your I-130 has been approved and your case goes over to the National Visa Center. Once your case goes over to the National Visa Center, you're then required to pay your visa application fee to get the whole process started there. Once you make that payment, then there is a payment receipt that you will receive from the NVC. That payment receipt is now a required document to be submitted with your waiver. And the waiver, the entire waiver will be predicated on this one issue, that you have a relative who will suffer extreme hardship if you have to leave the United States and they have to go with you. Or they will suffer extreme hardship. Just to frame it another way, the issue is that that person will suffer extreme hardship if you have to leave the United States, because they need you here with them and they need to stay right here in the United States. And that relative has to be a U.S. citizen parent or spouse, U.S. citizen or green card holder parent or spouse who will suffer that extreme hardship. All right, U.S. citizen or lawful permanent resident parent or spouse who will suffer that extreme hardship. Once the government accepts your argument and approves your waiver, then you're good to go with completing the NVC, the rest of the NVC steps. Then you can leave the United States for your embassy interview and then knock it out, right? Knock it out of the park, do well, and get your immigrant visa and come right back to the United States to continue to be with your family. So I hope you found this short video helpful to you. Thank you again for your question. And guys, I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.